Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at Uolo. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.uolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hey everyone. Hello. Good to see all of you back today. This is precisely the third class of our Mandala course. It's the class 3 today. And I'm really happy to see all my smiling faces over here. And I know by now you must have guessed the activity of today by the title of this class. So, do you know what class do we have today? Yes, correct. Most of you all know about the class since we already shared the title with you. So it is nothing but an octopus mandala today. So you all might be wondering what would be an octopus mandala now. We have already drawn a complete circular mandala. We drew a mandala greetings card. We made a mandala greetings card in the previous class. And what could be an octopus mandala now? So it is nothing but it is the application of all the mandala techniques that we have learned up till now into a modern design that is nothing but an octopus in this class. So I hope all of you are as excited as me for today's class. Yes? Quickly give me a thumbs up if you're excited for today's class. You have your materials ready. Quickly give me a thumbs up. Till the time I have the thumbs ups coming in, here's a quick reminder for you that you all have to make your submissions on time. I'm really happy to see the response till now for this course in regard to the submissions. The submissions have been top notch. I mean, they have been so beautifully drafted, so beautifully illustrated, and I was really happy to see all your submissions. And just make sure that you're attending all the classes and you're making your submissions for all the classes so that you get your certificates by the end of the course. So once this course is complete, if you have made submissions and you have attended all the class, you would get a certificate by the end of this course. Okay. So just make sure that you're making your submissions right after you have completed your artwork that is taught in today's class. Okay, awesome. So I also see so many thumbs ups coming in. I'll quickly share the screen so that we can get started by the class. Okay, don't worry about the art materials. We are going to discuss about it in detail. Yes. So let's get started now. Give me a moment, till then I'll share my screen. Okay. I hope you can see the screen now. So let's just get started with the class now. Okay. So first and foremost, let us now discuss the art materials. So first, we need an A5 size white sheet. This is a plain A5 size white sheet. Okay, so if you have an A4 size white sheet, you can just fold it into half and you'll get an A5 size of white sheet. And if you don't have a white sheet, you can use any colored sheet that you have, or you can even make use of a ruled sheet from your notebooks. Okay, so don't worry if you don't have a plain white drawing sheet. You can also make use of a ruled paper or any other color sheet you have. Okay, so this is the first material that we need. Second, we need something which is circular in shape. So it could either be you can use a rounder or you can use anything which is circular in shape. So in this class, I would be using this tape for just the circular portion. So anything which has a circular circumference, it could be a small bowl at your home. And if you don't have any of these, you can also use a rounder. Okay, and in case you don't have any of these, you can still attend the class. Okay, so this is the second material, which is any round object, any circular object. It could even be your mama's bangle. Okay, so anything with a circular shape, that is the second art material, or you can even use a rounder, but I would be making use of this tape bowl just to make a circle. Okay, so just make sure you have a circular round object with you as well. Okay, the third in line is a pencil. A normal pencil, just make sure it is nice and cleanly sharpened so that you have neat drawings and rough sketches as well, right? The third is a pencil. The fourth is our very favorite colorful sketch pens. Okay, so these are tiny cute sketch pens that I have. I'll be making use of these. In case you don't have colorful sketch pens, or if you don't have these colors, you can have your own choices of colors. And in case you don't have any colorful pen, you can use a single color pen like a gel pen or a ball pen that you have at your place. Okay, so don't worry if you don't have the exact same materials. I've also shared the substitute of it as well. So make sure that even if you don't have the exact materials, you can still attend the class. Okay, so these are the four basic materials that we need in today's class. Okay, so are you all ready for the class now? Are you all ready to start the fun activity? Yes. Okay, so let's get started now. So first, just take your pencil and the circular object that you have. You can use the circular object, or you can use a rounder if you want. Okay, I'll be using the circular object, and just first carefully observe how I make use of it. Okay, I'll be repeating the process as well. So first you all need to observe and then you can draw along. Okay, so I'm just placing this circular object, that is the tape card, roughly at the center of the sheet. Okay, so I've just placed this tape card roughly at the center of the sheet. So this top portion, slightly towards the top portion of your page, and roughly at the central area. I'm just placing this tape card, and then I'm just drawing a semicircle. Okay, so just a semicircle that we need. We are not going to draw the complete circle, we are just drawing the semicircle. Okay, so here's a quick recap for you. You can now start drawing along. So place the tape or any circular object that you have roughly at the center, but at the top side of the sheet, and draw a semicircle. Okay, so a semicircle now. Then just towards the end of the circle, this is the end portion of it, right? I'll quickly zoom a little for you. This is the end portion. I'm just extending this end portion with a curved line. If you see, this is the curved line that I've drawn. I'm just extending the circular ends with the help of a curved line. So here's a quick recap for you. Okay, zooming in a little. And this is the end part of this circle, and I just draw a curved line. And the same to be done on the other side as well. Okay, a quick repeat for you all. Just the ends of the semicircle, and we are just going to extend it with a tiny curved line, and the same on the opposite side as well. Now, the ends of these curved lines, we need to connect them as well, right? So this is the body of the octopus that we are drawing currently. So first we have drawn a semicircle, then we just drew these two tiny curved lines, and now we are just going to connect these two curved lines with the help of this curved line again. So if you see, I've just drawn a wavy line over here. Just a simple wavy line to connect the two parts. Okay, so here's a quick recap for you. We make these curved lines, and then we just connect these two with the help of the wavy lines. Slightly curved line. This is the body of the octopus that we have drawn. Okay, now we are just going to move ahead now. Okay, so I hope you have followed it up till now. We have drawn this curved line. Okay, so we just do the round shape, then we have these circular ends, and then we drew a curved line. Now we're just going to move to the bottom portion of the octopus now, right? So have you ever seen how the octopus has those scrolls at the end? Yes? Have you seen those scrolls that it has on its lower portion? We are just going to draw the same now. Okay. So this is a simple scroll. Okay. So I draw a one large curved line from one side, and then I just draw another curved line and connect it to the end of the previous curved line. Okay, so here's a quick recap for you. First, drawing one large curved line, and then drawing another curved line and meeting at the end. So now, at the end portion, we need to add these scrolls. We are just going to add a small spiral over there. So that's a spiral that I've added to the end portion. Okay. So this is the end portion, and I've just added this tiny spiral or the scroll. So here's a quick recap for you. And then we just draw the scroll. Okay. You can add more scrolls around the curved line, the larger curved line we have drawn. Okay. And you can just draw another curved line to make it meet the larger curved line. So here's a quick recap for you. We first start with the bottom spiral, and a little upwards we again draw a spiral, and we add another curved line just to connect it to the larger spiral. Okay, So now all we have to do is add the similar techniques, and we are going to make more of such scrolls. So I've added three spirals over here. If you have enough space to add more spirals, you can also do that. Okay. So just the same process that we are now going to follow to add more curved lines and scrolls. Okay. So now you can draw along with me as well. So just leaving a little bit of gap and drawing slightly larger curved lines. Okay, I draw a scroll and then I draw another curved line. It's okay if you have shaky curved lines, it's totally fine. Okay, it could be totally freehand, and then we are just going to add more scrolls around it. Okay, you can also add tiny scrolls if you want, just randomly wherever you want it to be. Okay, so we have added two giant scrolls over here. Now if you have enough space next to it, you need to add another scroll, a larger scroll now. Okay, so there is another scroll that I'm drawing now, and then we'll add more tiny spirals to it. And this time I'm adding these tiny spirals in the opposite side as well. So if you see these scrolls, these are facing one side, and this particular scroll I'm drawing over here is facing the opposite side. It's facing outwards. Okay. You can also add the same just randomly wherever you find space, but don't add too much of these. Okay. Just four or five of these. And play with the size of these scrolls if you want. So we added three of these, and now I'm adding more scrolls in the opposite side down there. Okay, so if you see, we have a rough sketch of the octopus getting ready. I'll quickly repeat one of these for you so that we can then move to the next step. Okay, I'm just drawing this larger curved lines, and I'm drawing a scroll at the bottom, a spiral at the bottom, another tiny spiral above it, and now in the opposite direction at the top area. Okay, and the same at the bottom areas. I'm just randomly drawing these simple spirals. Okay, awesome. So if you see, we have a rough sketch of our octopus ready over here. So we have a body at the top, and then we have these cute scrolls at the bottom area. Quickly give me a thumbs up if your rough sketch is ready. You have drawn it entirely with pencil with me, and you're all set to move a step ahead now. Quickly give me a thumbs up if you're ready with the sketch. Giving you 10 seconds to quickly pour in your thumbs ups now. Okay, so many of these thumbs ups coming in, and I see a lot of you also completing the rough sketch along with me. Okay, awesome. So we have a lot few done with the rough sketch. Okay, so let's move ahead now. So now we are just going to make use of our colorful sketch pen. First, I'm taking this pink colored sketch pen. And as I said, if you don't have the exact color, then if you're using a single color, that's totally fine. And in case you don't have a pink color sketch pen or a gel pen, you can also make use of a red color or blue color if you want. Okay, so let's begin. Using this big sketch pen, I'm going to start outlining or overdrawing the body of the octopus that we have drawn. Just the body of the octopus, the top portion of the octopus is what I'm going to outline first. Okay, so everything at the top area that we have drawn with pencil, I'm just covering it with this pink sketch pen. So as we already know, we just draw everything with pencil first and not directly with ink, so that in case we end up making any mistakes, we can erase it and then rectify our mistakes. Okay, so make sure you're drawing a rough sketch with pencil first and then proceeding with ink or your crayons or sketch pens. Okay, so I've outlined this area, and now just above this zigzag line, this curved line, I'm drawing another parallel wavy line to it. Just leave a little bit of gap and draw another wavy line. Okay, so here's a quick recap. Just leave a little bit of gap and draw this wavy line. Okay, and now just start by adding these simple vertical lines in the gap that we have with the similar sketch pen, or if you want you can use any other color if you wish to for this pattern. So this is a simple vertical line throughout the gap of these wavy lines. Okay, so here's a quick recap for you. Just in between the gap, we make these simple vertical lines or slightly curved lines if you want. Okay, okay, just filling in the gap with vertical lines, or you can draw slightly curved lines if you also want that. Okay, so I'm done with this. Now you can just rotate your sheet. Just rotate your sheet just the way I have done over here. If you rotate the sheet, you would find it easier to follow the next step. Okay, so just everybody rotate the sheet, and then you can just start by the next step. First, I'm just drawing a semicircle at the top section. If you see, I've just rotated the sheet and I've just drawn the semicircle at the center. Okay, leaving a little bit of gap and drawing the same semicircle now. So I have two semicircles at the top area with a little bit of gap, and then I draw another curved line and I add a spiral. Okay, so here's a quick recap for you. I draw these two semicircles, then I add another semicircle, and then inside this last semicircle, I'm just drawing the spiral. So we already know the spiral or the scroll now. We have drawn multiple spiral or scrolls at the bottom section of this octopus. So that's the similar scroll that I've added here. Now at this gap, I'm adding these simple vertical lines. Okay, so if you see we have a scroll, then just between the gap of the two semicircles, I'm just drawing these vertical lines. Here's a quick recap for you. Okay. Now we are just going to add a leaf shape. So this is nothing but we are drawing a tiny mandala at the top section. So by now I think you all must have mastered these techniques and you all are already aware of it. So first we just made this vertical lines. Then we just add these leaf shapes. Just two curved lines with the leaf shape. Yes. So if you see, I've just added these leaf shapes in the next layer. Yes, these are two curved lines with a pointed edge to it. And then we just fill this up. We fill this up with the help of curved lines again. So we have three curved lines inside each of these. Okay, so here's a quick recap for you. We first draw the leaf shape, and then for the filler, we just add these curved lines. So this is already the pattern that we learned in our previous class, and I'm just making use of it. Okay, so now in between the two leaf shapes, we'll add another leaf shape. You already know the drill by now, right? Between the two leaf shapes, we add another leaf shape. Just the same two curved lines, leaf shape. And now for the filler, we add a vertical line. We divide it symmetrically. We add a straight line into the leaf shape. And on one side, we give these diagonal lines, just like the veins of the leaf. Okay, so there's a quick recap for you. Just in between the leaf shape, we add another leaf shape in the space between the previous two leaf shapes. Now for the filler, we add vertical divisions to it. We draw a vertical line in between, and then on one side, we just draw these diagonal lines or slant lines, just like the veins of the leaf. Okay, awesome. And now we are just going to join these two leaf shapes with the help of a curved line. This is a curved line that I've drawn just to connect the two leaf shapes. So here's a quick recap. I'm just connecting the two leaf shapes with the help of a curved line. Okay. And then adding tiny curved lines inside this curved line as well. And we add simple dots in between. Also, in case you have gap between the two curved lines, as you see here, I have a little bit of gap. I'm just filling it with the help of these simple vertical lines. Okay, here's a quick recap for you. We first join the two leaf shapes with the curved line. Then we add another curved line inside the previous curved line. And then we add tiny circles. And just in between the two curved lines, we add these vertical lines. So now just make sure that if you don't have enough space, don't make it too congested or add more and more patterns. If you don't have enough space, you can completely skip this pattern. Okay. Okay, so we have a tiny mandala at the top section now. We have a tiny cute mandala at the top body of the octopus now. And now, if you see just below, I'm adding another curved line. So just adding these two wavy lines which are parallel to the previous lines. If you see, these are running parallel to each other. Just the same thing with a little bit of gap. So this is the first wavy line. Then there's a second wavy line. And now just in between the gap, you can draw these flower petal shapes. So I think you all are aware about this pattern as well. So this is nothing but the flower petal shape. Yes. So just filling in the gap with the help of this pattern. So here's a quick recap for you. Just filling in the gap with the help of flower petals. Okay. Okay, there we go. And the last one. Yes. So it's time that we now fill in this gap. We can just randomly add tiny circles. Just randomly, if you have space left at this area, you can add tiny circles at this area. Okay, just like I have done, just add tiny circles of random sizes and located at random places inside the body of the octopus. Just random tiny circles. So here's a quick recap of how I'm doing that. Okay, awesome. So we have the body of the octopus ready over here just by adding a tiny mandala, and then we have two layers of patterns and tiny circles randomly placed in between. Okay, so I hope you all are also done with the body of the octopus, and now it is time to move to the scrolls, to the lower section of it. I'm just making use of this orange color, or maybe we can make use of this green color. I think green would be available with most of you. And as I said, if you're making use of a single color, just go ahead with the same color and follow the steps exactly the way I do here. Okay? First, just outlining the first scroll, just giving an outline to the first scroll now. Okay? Also on the spiral. You might not be able to see here, but I've okay, just outlined it. So here's a quick recap, just outlining the first scroll. So what you can do is now first you can just carefully observe what I do. Because whatever procedure I follow in this particular first scroll, I'm going to follow the same thing for the next two scrolls as well. So make sure that you're observing it carefully, and then you can just simply draw along. By then it would be really simple for you to follow. So just make sure that you're observing it first nicely. So I've just given an outline to the larger curved line first. And now, if you see, we have this gap which is running in between the curved lines. So we are just going to add the same curved lines inside it. So just randomly, it's okay if they are not of equal length or equal sizes. Just randomly if you see. Okay. If you see, I'm just connecting the lower portion, this lower portion, to the top section with the help of curved lines on it. Okay, so here's a quick recap for you. So just adding the similar curved line inside to fill in the gap nicely. And now, just for the other two tiny scrolls, we can make use of a different color now. So just for the tiny scrolls around, I'm first making use of an orange color, giving in an outline. That's the scroll, first outlining that, and now the same process for the gap we have. So just drawing these simple curved lines and connecting it to the main curved line. So if you see, I start from this tip and I draw these curved lines to connect it to the main larger curved line. So here's a quick recap for you. Okay. Yes. So that's the same thing that we are going to follow for the scroll above it. And I'm making use of a red color now. If you don't have a red color, you can make use of a yellow color. You can make use of a blue color if you want. You can have your own choices of colors. And I've just followed the same procedure. So listen to me carefully now. So this whole procedure that we followed for the first curved line and the scroll, I'm just going to follow the exact same procedure for the next two scrolls as well. Only difference would be I would be making use of different colors over here. So just make sure that now you have followed this process. You continue the same for the other two scrolls as well. Okay. So just taking another color. This is a dark blue color this time, giving an outline to the larger scroll. Okay. So just because we have drawn it with pencil first, it becomes really easy for us to move ahead with the outlines. Yes? So imagine not drawing with pencil first. You might just end up making some mistake and then you may not be even able to rectify it. Okay? So just following the same process if you see. I'm just drawing these curved lines inside. Yes, I'm just drawing these simple curved lines similar to the first one. Just randomly adding it to the bottom section. If you see, I have unequal curved lines as well. That's totally fine if you have unequal curved line because that is the beauty of natural things. Okay, not everything need to be so symmetrical. You can have these crooked curved lines and that's totally fine as well. Okay, that's the same thing that I've just followed. Just for the tiny scroll above, I'm making use of a light green color. Just the same thing. If you have more tiny spirals, then you can add on to more colors using pink. Once you just follow the step for one curved line or one complete scroll, it's really easy to imitate the same in the next two scrolls as well. Or even if you have more number of scrolls because you made a larger octopus, then you can just follow the same thing. And it's totally fine if you complete the artwork after this class ends. Okay? So don't worry, don't really speed up with the process. Just make sure that you're doing it really neatly, and it's totally fine if you're not along with me. I think now you have got an idea about the procedure that we are following. So just make sure that you're slow and neat with it as well. Okay, so I'm on to the last scroll now. Okay, just adding these curved lines now. The second curved line, more curved lines in between the gap now. Okay, awesome. Now for the tiny scrolls, let's make use of different colors. So using dark green now and just giving an outline and these curved lines to the tiny scroll. You can just make use of different colors for that tiny scrolls that we have. Okay, and then for the other side of it, we'll make use of a pink color. So just basic random choice of colors because we have made it as colorful as we could. Just to play around a little with the colors, we did that. Light green. Just following the same process for the spirals and the scrolls as well. Okay. So there we have the last spiral ready over here. Okay. So if you see, I've just followed the same process throughout these curved lines. I first explained the process in the first curved lines and the similar technique was applied to the next scrolls and the spirals that we have. So, in case you have not completed up till here, it's totally fine. But we have an additional point over here. We have something more to draw over here. So just make sure that you pause for a while and just have a look at this. It's okay if you have not completed it up till now, but just have a look at the next step and then you can continue your work even after this class ends. Okay? So carefully observe first. I'm just taking a light blue color. This is a light blue color. You can make use of a dark blue color also if you don't have a light blue color. Okay. So we are just going to draw bubbles around this octopus. So we are just going to depict this octopus as if it's under the sea, under the water, and we're just going to draw some bubbles around it. So carefully observe how I draw a bubble. So first I draw a circle. If you see, this is the circle I've drawn. Then just at one side of it, I draw another circle. Okay, so I'll quickly repeat this for you. We first draw a larger circle. Inside this larger circle, just towards one side of it, I'm drawing a tiny circle. And now I would color around the tiny circle, but not inside the tiny circle. So if you see, I'm just coloring around the tiny circle and within the larger circle. If you see, I have not colored this tiny circle. I have not colored inside this tiny circle. I've just colored outside. This is how we are going to make more and more bubbles around it of different sizes. Okay, so just above it, just randomly following the same trick. First drawing a circle and then smaller circle and then coloring it. Just randomly few of these bubbles. You can also add dots around it if you want. So if you see at this section, I've just added these dots to make it look like a really tiny bubble. Okay, so just few around the scrolls now. So carefully observe if you have not followed how to draw these bubbles. This is the first circle. Then I draw another tiny circle and I color around the tiny circle but not inside it. Okay, just following the same process and just random sizes of it, not too large, not too tiny either, and just adding few dots around it. Okay, you can just randomly add dots and bubbles wherever you like to, just around the scrolls or anywhere in between. So if you see, we have few bubbles ready over here, and I'm adding few more to it now. Okay, just the similar process, and we are just adding random bubbles around our octopus now. You can also add tiny dots around it, as I said. Let's add few more over here, just randomly. We're just depicting that this octopus is underwater, and we're adding more and more bubbles around it. Just tiny ones in the scroll. So if you see, just adding these tiny dots to look like bubbles. So just place these bubbles randomly at places you want. So this is really a fun technique, just to add these bubbles randomly where we want to. Just in between the scrolls, if you want to add tiny bubbles, you can do that as well. Really tiny ones. Okay, so let's add few at this top also. Okay, adding more bubbles around it now. And if you see, these are all of random sizes and totally rough hand. few more to the top section. Okay. You can also just randomly draw more of these bubbles and tiny dots around, just tiny ones, just randomly. These are even tiny, just a dot around. And if you see, we have a beautiful octopus in front of us. So now that's the body of the octopus. We drew a mandala at the top section. We added a little more layer to it. And for the bottom section, there were multiple scrolls that we added. And lastly, we had these beautiful bubbles around it. Yes, so this was the illustration and the artwork for today. I hope you all enjoyed today's class and especially enjoyed making those bubbles around it. Yes, those random bubbles around it. And this was a modern application of the mandala technique. So mandala is generally called as a historic art form or a traditional art form, and this is a modern use of a mandala. So we have just made use of the similar patterns into making of this modern octopus design, and I hope you had lots of fun creating this with me. And don't forget to make your submissions. I'm going right away to check all of your submissions, and till then, please take care of yourself, stay creative, and enjoy all the classes on YOLO. Okay, I'm going right away to check your submissions now because I can't just wait to see all of your talented submissions getting ready. Okay, so I'll see you in the next class. Till then, bye.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right up